I thought it'd be interesting to let you in on how I prepare for a tour. I've got a tour coming up with Paul Gilbert. We're going to Japan and then to Europe for 8 weeks after that this fall, 2016. I have a lot of material to learn for this tour. We're using 2 different configurations of band. One of them is a 6-piece band in Asia, and then we have a 3-piece power trio for the shows in Europe. And it's a long tour, 8 weeks, all over Europe basically, and also Israel, Russia, all of Scandinavia, down to Germany and into France, Italy, Spain, all over the place. Paul sent me a lot of material to learn. Usually I receive some MP3s of the songs, and then I have a listen at everything, and I figure out which songs I have to brush up on or learn or relearn, and which songs are completely new that I haven't played before, and then I chart them out. I start with a blank piece of paper. I'm gonna start transcribing all the songs that I don't know. Here's one. Sounds easy. Pre-chorus. 2/4. Chorus. Yeah. 8 bars. Bring it down. Intro. Repeat. Only 4 bars. The intro is 8 bars. This is only 4. Down. These 2 accents. Verse, 8 bars. Pre-chorus. Probably a 2/4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There it is. Chorus. Probably 8 bars. Intro again. It's probably the outro. There it is. First song done. That's what it looks like. I write down very precise information. You can see title of the song, all the kicks and accents, the main beat, repeat signs. If it repeats, this comes twice. And then the basic verse groove, verse 1, 8 bars. Here's a little accent in the verse, pre-chorus, 2/4 bar, and then chorus, etc. So a lot of information in here. And I usually create charts that not only I can play, but that anybody could play. This is important that this is a really correct chart, not just a cheat sheet or lead sheet or something like that. This is a proper drum chart. This is important for me to learn the song. I have both sort of a audio and visual memory, so I like to listen to the music a bunch of times, which automatically and naturally happens when you're transcribing. You listen to parts over and over again, and this really helps me to memorize the songs. And then when I'm writing the parts out at the same time, I also have that visual element. And I usually, when I then play the songs, I can see my notation of those parts, and that is how I personally memorize songs. And I can learn a lot of material that way in a short amount of time. I couldn't do this if I were just listening to the songs in the car or something like that. I actually have to write them out. And I don't have much time for this one, only about a week. And I have probably 30 songs to learn. So this is the way to go for me. Next song. You found a bouncy ball?
Yeah, but then I was like, oh cool, I wonder what else is in there. And then I poured it out. And I found this action figure that I really liked from like 4 years ago.
Which one is the other one? Is that the Terminator?
Yeah, it's the Terminator.
Let me see that one. I'll show that to the camera. T-1000, it's a Terminator. It's a bio-cybernetic organism mounted on an endometallic skeleton. Or something like that, right?
I don't know.
Very good, okay. I have to crack on with this. Lots of music to learn. Okay, 2 bars. Verse. Well, okay, so I'm done here transcribing for today. There'll be a lot more work tomorrow, but I've done a good amount of stuff. I only have 2 more to go, and then the massive medley, which is a huge amount of work. I'll do that tomorrow. It goes back to C. Okay. And then a verse would be D, C, okay. Okay. I look at the music not only from a drumming point of view, but sometimes it's easier to memorize things if I figure out the chords and listen to the guitar parts and the harmonics and some of the chord progressions. The drum parts on some of these rock songs are really simple. So I sometimes listen to the music and analyze the music not only from a drumming point of view, but also from a harmonic chord progression point of view. And that's very helpful sometimes. The music we're playing on this tour is a combination of solo recordings that Paul did many years ago, some of his Racer X stuff. He used to be in a band called Racer X. And also brand new music from the latest album we recorded, and music from a previous album or several albums that I recorded with Paul. So it's a combination of stuff that I do know and that I don't know. But half of the stuff I don't know. So I have to do a lot of learning and transcribing. It's very interesting because the music is very shreddy. There's lots of information in the music, lots of stops and kicks and very specific grooves, unison parts. Very important dynamics, so it's very interesting to play, and I love working with Paul because he's an incredible guitar player and incredible musician. He's a walking almanac of classic rock history and trivia, and he can play all the great classic rock songs and more, jazz, anything. He can sing anything, he knows all the lyrics. He's really incredible. What a great musician, and I love working with him because he's ultra competent in his sort of area of expertise. It's a lot of fun, and I get to stretch musically also when we tour, especially live, but also on the records. And in case you haven't heard of it yet, check this album out. This is the new Paul Gilbert album. It's called I Can Destroy, produced by Kevin Shirley, Caveman Kevin Shirley, legendary producer who has worked with AC/DC and Deep Purple and you name it, Joe Bonamassa, and many, many more. So check this album out. It's really, really great. And we're playing this whole album on a tour too. So I played it in the studio, but I have to brush up on all the music and look at the charts that I wrote for myself back then and see if I still remember it all. This stuff is fairly easy for me to memorize because it wasn't too long ago that we recorded this album, and I also listened to it in the car when I'm driving my kids to school, etc. So it's kind of in there somewhere. I just have to gently brush up on it, basically. But other stuff I have to transcribe and really get into the details of it because it's stuff that I don't know. And like I said, there's a lot of information in the music, and I really want to get it right, especially because we're a power trio in Europe. So if there's any discrepancies or insecurities, it becomes very, very obvious in a trio setting if the drummer doesn't know the parts. So obviously I want to be prepared and know exactly what's going on in the music. So more transcriptions for me today. I'm done for the day. More transcriptions tomorrow.